What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another one of these Sunday discussion videos. These videos are kind of an opportunity on a weekly basis to talk about something that is not strictly related to the music that is released within the K-pop industry, and just to talk about other things that do relate to K-pop. And so for this one, we're going to be talking about the mostly inspired and driven by the news that both GFriend and just recently today, within the last 24 hours or so of me recording this video, that both GFriend and the group Dia, not GFriend, but Dia specifically, have both been involved in minor car accidents as they were on their way to different activities. And so this kind of given the question, or what I would like to hear what you guys think about the idea or the question I'm about to pose, and that is, or that the question this title of this video poses or whatever, is that are car accidents a problem in K-pop, or is it something that needs to be worked on and improved so that there are zero car accidents that involve idols as they travel to, activities? Or is it just like, it is what it is, it happens sometimes, and it's not like it happens super frequently. And I think, me personally, when of course we're not talking about, idols who were breaking the law, they're drinking and driving and they got in a car accident, because that's not what this is. This is basically idols in accidents as they're doing their job, basically. And my thought on this is that it's probably a little bit of like, this should be, something should be done so that it's a little bit more safer, and that these car accidents are not, they happen somewhat frequently, at least they get reported, and my perception of that is that they kind of do. But at the same time, if you consider how much these groups are actually on the road, because they do have to travel to multiple activities, a day sometimes, or they spend a lot of their time traveling from one promotion activity to the next. And when you're driving, it just means that you're very likely at some point to get into a car accident. Now, taking into consideration that by many people's account of people who actually do have lived in Korea, is that road safety and safety when it comes to cars and driving and just all of that kind of stuff is not particularly high up on the priorities of people in Korea. They're not particularly attentive, or they don't care or careful or whatever when it comes to driving and being safe while they drive. And that also does kind of bleed over, of course, to pedestrians on the side of the road or crossing the street or something like that. So it's a little bit of, like I said, I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, where yes, certainly more things can be done to make sure that idols are traveling to their activities safely from point A to point B safely, with no fear or concern that there is going to be an accident, whether it's a major one or a minor accident where just a little fender bender and the car is damaged and they potentially need to get a new one so they can go to their activity. And so yeah, where there needs to be safer, or it just happens because they're on the road so much, and statistically speaking, at some point they're going to be in an accident. And there is also this other factor too, that considering that the English media, K-pop media that shares the news of this stuff makes these events out to be super dramatic, of course, because whenever with these last two instances, the sites that I've seen have been like, breaking news, girl group GFriend involved in a minor car accident, they've been rushed to the hospital. And it's like everyone goes to the hospital in Korea, it seems, for like anything. So it's like, it really isn't that big of a deal. But English media, because let's face it, the K-pop community is fueled on drama. If there is no drama, then K-pop would be boring and people might not listen to it. I don't know specifically, that's exaggerated and that's 100% made up. But, the fact is that people read and click on these sites, go to Soompi, All K-pop, Koreaboo, because the things that they write are very frequently dramatic and sensationalized, and not necessarily inaccurate, but the way that they are portrayed makes it seem that some things are a little bit worse and a little bit more larger scale and just, oh my god, we should be concerned about this, than they actually are. Like, GFriend they were in a minor car accident and the company took them to the hospital to make sure that they were not like actually seriously injured, even though they weren't really injured at all. And, you know, Daya was late to one of their activities because they were in a car accident and nobody was injured. So I don't think that a minor accident like that, where like nobody gets hurt, is necessarily worthy of the breaking news title that everyone needs to be super dramatic about. But on the other, but you know, of course, instances like the ladies' code accident, where of course members died, that definitely is something that is worth breaking news, you know, headlines and stuff like that. To like interrupt to whatever your broadcast is to say like ladies' code, you know, that kind of thing. These accidents and this kind of stuff, not necessarily, you know, super newsworthy in the sense that like they're breaking news. You could just write like a low key, you know, last night G-Friend was involved in an accident, nobody was injured, minor kind of, you know, damage to their vehicle, then went to the hospital just so that they could be checked out to be 100% okay to, I suppose, exist in the world or whatever. You know, it doesn't need to be something super dramatic, super hyped up, and just to be kind of portrayed to be something a little bit worse than it actually is, with an actually I think that they potentially were. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious a little bit to hear what you guys think about this. So is it you know, is it definitely the sense that, you know, safety and stuff like that needs to be improved and is a big thing that is neglected by, you know, companies and the managers and whoever stuff, which I don't doubt that it actually is. It just, you know, is the nature of the business, I suppose. Although just because it's the nature of the business doesn't mean that it can't be improved and fixed. Or is it, again, the nature of being on the road so much that eventually you will be in a car accident, and because you know, these groups are popular and they have some sort of, you know, public attention and people care about them and they want to know news about them, that whenever anything slightly bad happens to them, then they blow up into this bigger news story than they actually are, because a car accident is a dramatic event and people don't want to be in car accidents, and they just are potential for these people to get injured. So let me know what you guys think about this. Which issue do you, which side do you fall on? Do you fall somewhere in the middle? You know, what is it? Share what your thoughts and opinions are down below. I kind of just spilled out a bunch of stuff that I think about this, so now I'm very, very interested in hearing what you guys have got to say. Really do appreciate everyone who, you know, laid out their thoughts regarding my thoughts on FX disbanding in my previous video. There was a really, really awesome discussion. I'm still getting a lot of really, really good comments about it, really, really good and thoughtful comments about it. So I really, really do appreciate that from everyone who's participated and continues to participate in that. So hopefully we can just kind of continue having that good discussion, you know, in the future. And if there's a topic or an idea or a question or something that you would potentially like to hear me talk about in an upcoming discussion video, like maybe next week or something like that, then of course leave that down in the comments below, along with your thoughts to your response to this topic. So, you know, whatever it is that you think, even if you think that people are not going to like what you say, leave it down in the comments below, because, you know, this community is all about sharing our honest thoughts and opinions about the topic at hand. So if you've got something to say, no matter what it is, it's valuable. I want to hear it. Other people in this community do also want to hear it as well, and of course discuss it. So if that is a community that you are interested in becoming a part of, then please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. So that's going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.